right, folks, welcome to the SmackDown podcast. It's Kyle. I can breathe again. Yes.
Woohoo!
I sounded like shit on the last two episodes, you guys. So bad. Like, embarrassingly bad. Oh, my God. Thank you guys for joining us. We are your one-stop shop for all your Raw, SmackDown, NXT 205 Live reviews, recaps, predictions, pay-per-view shows, NXT takeovers, all that awesome stuff. Man, joining us today, we've got the Lacey Evans enthusiast, Mr. Rob Rude.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I love how you're matching the enthusiasm.
Sorry, guys, I gotta close Twitter, man. It's not Twitter, man.
And the AJ Styles of podcasting, Sebastian. What's up, buddy?
Oh, man, I'm excited to do this episode.
Oh, my God, me too, bro. I feel like I just, came up from, swimming underwater for, a minute, and I can breathe again. I cannot tell you how good I feel right now. Holy shit. You guys, thank you for joining us, man. If you're joining us on the audio realm of things like Spotify, Podbean, thank you so much. We also are on YouTube. Help us get to that 100 subscriber milestone by giving us a nice subscribe over there. Now, granted, I know when you think podcast, most of the time, YouTube is not what comes to mind. We are taking this into consideration, spinning ideas for short form content, other types of media we can throw at you to make the YouTube channel feel very special. But please join us from the ground up. Give us that subscription. Give us that extra motivation to be even better. Come on over there and join us. Please join us. Also, announce this to be soon. You guys, I finally put in the work, man. I think we're going to be on iTunes here in a day or so.
Hell yeah, dude.
Cue the applause. Shortly following that should be Google Play. I was running into an issue where the what's it called? They want you to have
thumbnail
this
icon.
this SRR link. What is it? It's called the. Oh my goodness, I can't find it right now. It's essentially like the link to your podcast. And apparently it doesn't match the format for Google Play. But once iTunes gives us one, then it will match us. So once we're on iTunes, we should follow to Google Play immediately afterwards. At least that's what the research says that I've been doing. That's right, your boy's doing research, okay? I should be parenting children. But I'm over here trying to figure out how I
So
can...
Google will get the answer from Apple?
It's weird, right?
It's wow.
Yeah, it's so weird because it's the actually, you know what? Hold on one second. Because if I do this, I actually want to be on Podbean anyways because I want to give a shout out to some of our followers over there. I don't feel like you guys get enough love, even though I shout you guys out that are listening to us in Ontario, Canada, in Australia. I've been meaning to show y'all some love too. But right here, the oh my God, what's that called, man? It's your SRR feed, I think it is. It's like your URL. It's just the URL doesn't match what Google wants it to be, I guess, is all it is. But also, want to give a shout out, since we're on Podbean, to Balormania. You followed us the other week. I noticed. Thank you for following us. And then we got DBTTQX. I forget your Twitter handle, but I'm sure I'll see it at the end of the show. Along with that, we've got DYWTS podcast. Thank you guys as well for following us. And then actually my Uncle Kim follows us too, so that's pretty cool. But anyways, thank you guys for following us. Another place you can follow us is on Twitter at SmackDrawPod. And then I'm at the Kai Tai Show. I've done enough talking. Mr. Rob Rude, go ahead. Let them know where you are at. And then, I don't know, man, Sebastian can join in too.
2 words, can't see me. I tweet a lot. A lot. A whole lot.
A whole lot.
At WrestlingFan_32.
Man, you guys are bringing the energy tonight, man. I love it.
Sorry, I keep waiting for my daughter to walk in. So.
Your daughter was
Every time I hear footsteps, I'm like, oh, here she comes.
she was a big part of Raw's episode last night, man. Like,
Oh my God, she wasn't actually on the show, was she?
I don't think so. No, I think that was just before we started recording.
Okay.
Oh man, yeah. Sebastian's little
not gonna
girl's
say
a
that.
talkative one. Rob, you got some talkative kids?
For the most part, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. My son today was actually because like I watched Raw like at the last minute. I fast forwarded through some of it to have it done before SmackDown. But like my son knows like who Kofi is. He knows he's the champ and whatever. He doesn't really pay too much attention. But like today he paid so much attention, and I think he's learning. And like he asked me, everybody, do you like them? Do you like them? Okay, me too. Okay, me too. Do you like them? Okay, me too.
He wants to be involved, man.
When he seen Kofi, I was like, no. He was like, but I do. I'm like, there you go. Think for yourself, buddy. There you go. I mean, I don't hate Kofi, but I just wanted to see what he would say because I know he loves Kofi.
Right.
So, I don't know. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But yeah, they talk. They ask me things, and it's good times.
Yeah, Kofi's for the kids, man.
Maybe one of these days my daughter will be awake while we're doing this, and I can have her on for a minute.
Maybe, man, maybe. Like I said, Sebastian's kid almost was. She is wide awake at midnight. I'm like, Sebastian, what do you feed your children? Because she was on there.
Munched.
Sebastian, you were telling her, man, you're going to get crackers or Cheez-Its. And in my mind, I'm like, aren't they the same thing?
Crackers are good, Cheez-Its are not.
You wanted me to cook at like 11:30, and I was like, in the last hour, you've had hot dogs, you had, I don't know, there was like 3 things she's ate in the last hour, and she was still in here one more. I'm like, Jesus. Like, you need to go to sleep. That's how you heal from having strep throat. You need to go to bed and rest.
Heck yeah, man. Oh, my God. This weekend.
Until you become an adult and rest is no longer an option.
It's not an option, man. You
Yeah,
can't take a sick day from being a parent. I'll tell you that.
Enjoy it while you can. There you go.
Yeah. You guys, we're here to review SmackDown. The SmackDown after SummerSlam, capping off a long week of wrestling. Although, be it, we still have 205 Live and NXT, but for most of our viewers, this is the end of their wrestling week. SmackDown in a nutshell, what did you guys think?
I thought it was a great show, and that angers me because last week's wasn't a great show. And last week, I spent $200 to see live. Just saying. Just saying.
Oh, poor Rob.
I would have loved to spend $200 to see tonight's show. I'd have been all about it. Woo, look at this.
You would have to fly out to Toronto.
I would have been okay with that.
What
I would have
about-
worn my Wings jersey, too. Oh, some people would have pissed.
What about you, Sebastian, man? What's your takeaway from tonight?
Dude, I had a blast watching that show.
Yeah? What about it,
Yeah,
man? What
I
about
did.
it stood out to you?
Good matches, dude. We had Charlotte and Amber, a pretty good match. Buddy and Roman tore the house down. KO and Joe, even though it was short and had the shenanigans at the end, I wouldn't mind seeing them have an actual feud.
You get a few going back like NXT?
Got some progress with Orton and Kofi. The Revival and New Day look like they're going to have a tag title feud.
Lot of storyline progression. That was
That's my favorite show.
yeah,
That's my favorite.
absolutely. When you give me incentive to tune in next week. Unfortunately, as much as I love good matches, they're not sustainable. You know, you need a reason to invest in those matches other than just the spectacle. And tonight they did provide that. I'm not going to lie. Couple gripes from me. The show was still good, by all means. Very good episode of SmackDown. And to Rob's point, unfortunately, much better than the one that took place in Detroit where Rob was at last week.
Man.
But I guess, you know what, I'll bring up my gripes as we go through the run through, man. We've already chatted here for about 10 minutes. Well, really it's been me, but just because I can talk again, holy shit, I'm telling you, it's fucking awesome. Let's go ahead and get into the opening, man, where we had Kevin Owens come out, man, to give a sincere take on his match at SummerSlam. It was a huge match. Lifelong fan of the business. got to wrestle in front of his whole family who's were at ringside. You know, very sentimental to him. But even more sentimental is he gets to take part in the prestigious King of the Ring tournament where you've had winners like Stone Cold Edge, Kurt Angle, Bret Hart, and Owen Hart, man. And now KO hopes to add his name to that list of King of the Ring winners. You know who does...
I want to stop you guys real quick because I know you're going to know this answer. Make it short and summarize. Why did the King of the Ring die?
I'll let Sebastian go to that.
That's one of the greatest things in fucking wrestling history.
Right.
And it's dead?
Right. Thank you, Rob. Thank you. Sebastian, go ahead. Answer it, man.
I don't know. I agree. This is one of the best things.
Vince McMahon doesn't like tournaments. Vince don't like tournaments, man.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, there's that.
Vince has always been outspoken against tournaments. He doesn't like them. That's really why it died. I was hoping Sebastian knew that.
Vince, that's a bad opinion. You're never ever going to listen to our podcast, but if you do, Vince, that's a bad opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know, I kind of got that feeling, but here lately we've had the Cruiserweight Classic, we've had Mae Young, so I don't know. I didn't want to go too far in Vince's feelings for that, but I mean, it's a good time to bring it back. I don't know why.
It is a very
they
good
brought
time.
It back. They brought it back, what, 09 and 06, I believe, was the last two. No, they had one in 2015. Wade Barrett won that one.
Yeah, the one that Wade Barrett won was the most recent one, and there was almost no effort put into that.
I do remember Dolph Ziggler and Wade Barrett had a match in that, and that was a pretty good match, but that was about all I remember that.
Right. Yeah, because the last... Yeah, the last King of the Ring, I'm pretty sure that's what you just said, was 2015? 2015, was it? It was... Yeah, 2015. Yeah, Wade Barrett. Prior to that was 2010.
Okay.
And even then, they were taking
Was it
2-year gaps, going back to 06. And then the last, regular Ring of the King...
The last actual one was 2002.
Yep, the annual one was 2002 by Brock Lesnar. So, yeah, they really just were hot and cold after Lesnar's King of the Ring win. And
because it needs to be annual. People need to look forward to it. You can't just be like, hey, guys, we're going to have a random King of the Ring.
Absolutely.
And you're going to be excited. We're going to be like, no, we're not.
Yeah,
I mean, we are, but you get what I'm saying.
Well, we mentioned on Raw that King of the Ring, nowadays you have the big four, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. But then you kind of have the unofficial fifth pay-per-view nowadays, which is Money in the Bank. That slot was filled by King of the Ring for many years. That slot was a lot of people's, they looked forward to it. Just like you were stressing, and a lot of other people, including fans and wrestlers alike, man. There's a lot of love for King of the Ring. And it's a cruddy feeling that it's been gone for so long, but we need to be happy it's back. Let's just hope that the WWE give it the time and care and love that it deserves.
So far, we're given it's going to take place on Raw and SmackDown. I just hope it doesn't end on Raw and SmackDown.
No, I in fact would like the King of the Ring to go. You can put it on Raw and SmackDown all the way up to the semifinals. Then I would like to have 2 semifinals and the final match all on the same pay-per-view, so that you have 2 wrestlers that will do double duty on the same pay-per-view. I think that would be great and really add a specialness to a pay-per-view. It give us something to look forward to instead of it's just one match on there. You know what I mean? Let it actually take a good chunk of the show and be a part of it, But someone else who's not as passionate about Kevin Owens' love for King of the Ring like us is Shane McMahon, who comes out. Kevin Owens instantly dejected. Why are you out here, man? Just
I literally popped.
Of course you did.
Of
course you did, Rob. Because you just want to crush people's dreams, man. You live for the hate on Twitter, man. I swear to God.
I popped at KO's reaction.
He's just
great. He
why?
dropped to his knees.
It's why?
And then when Shane starts talking, he's sitting in the middle of the ring.
No, man, that's exactly how I felt. It's
Like, it was pretty much a mirror image of me.
Yes.
On the couch.
The short answer to all of this is KO struck Elias, who was an official. So Shane McMahon claims that he needs to be fined $100,000, which is yeah.
They could have played such a better angle on this. They could have played, you struck a referee, you lose. They could have went so much bigger on this.
Well, the decision is final.
Not necessarily. Well, I mean, it's Shane McMahon. He can do whatever the hell he wants.
Right.
And he could play that angle. I'm Shane McMahon. I can do whatever the hell I want. You DQ'd. You lose the match. No, he could go along the lines of, but I'm not going to say you're out. You have to fight Samoa Joe and beat him or whatever.
Right.
I honestly think they should have went bigger and said, you're fucking DQ'd. You hit a referee.
It's true.
That's the vibe I got.
No, it's true. Instead of just, you now owe us a lot of money, so now you're sad. You know?
Right.
Right now, as of right
even
now,
though,
that's
even
the
though
only...
the real fan knows that we're not taking $100,000 away from
No.
you. We're really not taking anything away from
If anything, he got like extra money for winning a pay-per-view match, you know?
Right.
But,
I've always hated the fines as a storyline.
yeah, because it's one of the hardest to believe angles. Granted, it's wrestling, so it's already hard to take as real, unless your name is Rob Roode.
Damn straight. Keep it kayfabe. Keep it kayfabe.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not a fan of the fine angles, but I have a feeling it was just a plot device for this one episode. It's going to very quickly turn into the next thing over the next week or two. And oh man, so when's the blow off, you guys? So obviously the blow off isn't now. You have Clash of Champions is the next pay-per-view, followed by Hell in the Cell in October. Are we really having to wait 2 more pay-per-views before we can write Shane off for good?
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. My guess, honestly, is Shane and KO in the Hell in a Cell, and I quit.
That's
Like the actual
it has to be an
Shane
I quit
is gonna
match.
say, yes, this time I quit if I lose.
Yeah.
And Owens whoops his ass, and he's gone forever, and I cry.
Oh man, you know what it should be is you know how you should do it is it's a Hell in a Cell match, and KO is threatening to throw Shane off of the cell, and then Shane says, "Okay, I quit. Don't throw me," and then he still throws him off the cell afterwards. That'd be dope as shit.
Yeah, and I could, it kind of hit me earlier when I was watching this. Shane won the Best in the World tournament. Maybe KO wins King of the Ring.
Oh shoot, man!
And that adds fuel to the fire on Shane's part, saying, "Okay, you want your I Quit match? You think you're better? Let's do it."
Shane's ego gets brought out. He believes his own hype.
Yeah.
Damn, man. Benji, you got such a good mind for the business, man. You need to be a writer. You need to start writing some of these stories, ship them off to WWE, let them plagiarize for a while.
I'm Sebastian, but thank you.
Sorry, dude. Fuck, man.
You kind of cut out there, and I was like, did he just say that, or did my internet feed just cut
No.
out?
God damn it, man. I'm sorry, Sebastian.
You're good.
Can't see it. I'm blushing over here. I'm embarrassed.
If I were you, I'd quit, bro. Just saying.
Yeah, I quit.
You.
Yep, show's over. It's on you guys now. Oh, no. Yeah, the opening segment ends with Shane announcing that he's got a match lined up for Kevin Owens. Doesn't announce who it's against yet. Also announces in all of that, but since he struck Elias as well, Elias gets the night off, along with suspending the 24/7 rules. That's going to get some boos, because we want our 24/7 title on television. Yep. But
the 24/7 title was cut off Raw on Hulu. Hulu, you or whoever does the editing, do not cut
How
the 24/7 segment.
You cut the main event.
I understand. Like, it's bad enough that your 3-hour show has an hour and a half of fluff that you can just cut off of Hulu and ain't nobody gonna notice.
No
But
consequences.
you cut the 24/7 title. Come on.
That
What
is
are you doing? That's one of the best things going in WWE right now.
garbage.
And you're gonna cut it. Oh, the only reason I knew Elias won it is because I tagged R-Truth earlier, and I was like, I'm gonna buy a 24/7 title, and I was like, no wait, I can just pin you. I'm coming for you. And somebody's like, no, bro, Elias won it. And I'm like, oh shit.
Oh man, it would have been better if R-Truth tagged you. He's like, I ain't got my baby, and I'd be like, oh damn, man, I'm sorry, bro. Tell me who's got it, man. I'll go get it.
Oh man, I was just playing, bro. I'm just playing. I'm sorry.
It's like, damn, Rob, way to rub it in.
That would have been great.
Oh, that would have been awesome. We go to a commercial. We come back. Kevin Owens confronts Shane McMahon backstage. Shane hides behind his lawyers, threatening to sue Kevin Owens if he attacks him. So Kevin says, well, you've already fined me for $100,000. Make it $105,000. And then proceeds to destroy like a $150 television. That's going to be a little unfair if he fines him $5,000 for that small TV. I'm telling you, it's not worth $5,000. Next up, now this is the first moment that's got me salty, man. This is the first moment, and it's Charlotte versus Ember Moon, you guys, and I might be alone in this.
You are alone in the fact that Charlotte didn't get an entrance? Is that what it is?
No, I
Is that
could
what
care
it's gonna
less.
be?
I could care less.
Okay.
Charlotte gets enough rub. It's Ember Moon. She is an afterthought now. She is literally, name one person who actually thought Ember Moon might win this match. You know, Ember Moon is supposed to be one of the top talents, and granted, they did the kind thing, made her look strong, okay? But you know a couple other people that looked strong was Chad Gable looked strong against John Cena. What happened to Chad Gable? Jason Jordan looked strong against John Cena. What happened to him? Nothing. You know, just because you make Ember Moon look good in the ring and showcase her doesn't make her a threat to the championship, doesn't make her a threat to any main story that's going on. And to me, she feels like it's going to be like Cesaro now. Somebody who easily the fans are behind, want a belt on, is talented, deserves it in every which way. But they're just blowing it for whatever reason. And the rumor is, I've heard it, Vince just doesn't like her. Like, just plain and simple, just Vince McMahon. Something about her rubs Vince the wrong way, and so he can't invest in this gold mine of talent. Instead,
I think that right there is everything you just said. Like, I read it all over Twitter, and I think that right there is why I'm such a happy fan, and I'm still happy with the WWE product. I could watch the match at SummerSlam and in this match a million times over, and in a million years I would never see that angle. Like, I didn't see her as a bitch. I didn't see her as strong. I didn't see her as weak. I don't see anybody as strong as weak. Like, I see all these storylines on Twitter and people like, oh,
so you
Buddy
mean to
Murphy,
tell me you put Heath Slater in there against Roman Reigns, and you think Heath Slater's got a chance?
Well, I thought Buddy Murphy had a chance too, and I was so mad. But yes, Roman Reigns is gonna smash Heath Slater. But next week on Raw, the average fan, which I am the minority in this, I see why people feel this way. I just don't see it. Heath Slater lost last week, so he's a little punk bitch. Me, I forget what Heath Slater did last week. I don't care what he did. I don't care if he's strong. I don't care if he's weak. What he did last year, people are like, oh, that's gonna fuel the fire because Shane did this and Shane did that. I mean, we said that earlier talking about Shane winning the tournament. I don't view stuff like that. So I think that's why I'm still happy with the product.
Rob, I'm not gonna insult your opinion, but you're wrong, okay?
You're wrong.
You're wrong, Rob.
You're wrong.
In this situation, I kind of lean toward Rob, man, honestly. And look, if Vince didn't like her, she wouldn't have a match at the Women's Championship match at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Just wouldn't have happened.
See, that's valid. But I'm not even really saying that it's not that Vince doesn't like her. I'm not saying I'm just saying that I view it like, I don't care what she did last week. I care what she's doing right now. This match
Rob
is
lets
good.
that curtain stay closed in front of him. Rob never peeks behind the curtain.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't look at long-term storylines, and I don't look at this guy deserves the belt because of this. Throw me a match and let's roll. Let's do this.
And look, she's lost to Bailey and Charlotte, two of the 4 horsewomen.
Who she's beat though? Who is she beaten? Who is she beat? That's top name right now.
Well, she hasn't been. The first program she was in since Drake Payne was Bailey. She hasn't really had a chance to. I mean, you gotta think she's only been back a couple of months. She hasn't had time. I mean, all the way she would have
Justice for Ember Moon,
literally is
folks.
putting a bet
Justice for Ember Moon. I'm calling it right now. Okay.
and like, it's not like she's out there losing to Lana. Like,
Okay, I'll give you
here's
that.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like, here's something I don't understand is when somebody loses to a top talent like Charlotte. Okay, you lost to the. Say right now it's Bailey, Charlotte, Ember. Ember lost to the second most on the roster, or on that side of the roster. It ain't like she lost to a bottom feeder. That's like in basketball if North Carolina loses to Duke and say North Carolina sucks. I mean,
right. That's valid. That's like you worded it a lot better than I just did. Like somebody like that, but that's exactly how I feel. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Only a more professional way to say it, I guess. I don't know.
More articulate.
Somebody tweeted earlier, oh, like Ember Moon had a title match at one of the big 4, and then she lost to Charlotte to make her look weak. No, she fought a champion at the big 4, and she lost to the champion, and then she fought Charlotte Flair, and she lost to Charlotte Flair.
And
she lost to 2 big dogs. That doesn't taint her. She lost to 2 big dogs.
And Charlotte just came off a win that pretty much everybody's calling her the queen of all eras now. So,
Yeah.
and she look, I mean, so and trust me, I understand. Like, unlike Rob, I actually do pay attention to looking weak and bad losses.
You do.
That's
That's why you be having good points.
Yeah.
I had a ramble about Shane McMahon and Baron Corbin.
But in this situation, no. Look, the 4 horsewomen, it's probably the 2 title matches coming up. And there's nothing wrong with losing to the number 2 spot on your roster. Nothing wrong with it. You're going to have your spot soon.
It's just, it's always, it's like, unless it's, and now don't make this like sound like I hate them, but unless it's Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, or Bailey, everybody else is a foregone conclusion. Nobody outside of those 4 people have a chance of beating any of those 4, with maybe the exception of Alexa Bliss, but she's wrapped up in the tag titles now. So there's no single star outside of those 4 women. And this is what Rob was complaining about earlier, where he was like, people were pissing and moaning about the women's division. It's because those 4 are they're the end all be all right now. And I love the 4 horsewomen. Trust me, I love them, dude. But I want to be able to think that somebody outside could chip at them, you know. And we don't have like, I don't remember any You might be able to correct me quickly. This might just be me being impulsive. I can't remember the last time any of those 4 women lost a clean match to anyone outside of those 4 women. You know, it's like only those 4.
Asuka, Carmella.
Who did Asuka beat? Well, she beat Bailey back in NXT.
She tapped Becky out.
She did tap Becky out, didn't she? That was a while ago, okay, man? Like, come on now. Like,
it still happened. It still happened.
I mean, look,
I will.
All right, I'll stop fighting it.
I will get back. Like, I want to get into this, but I know at the end they are a question about Sasha, and that's gonna kind of be a part of my answer.
We'll get. There's actually plenty of questions that kind of revolve around this, so without spoiling those questions, we'll move on. We'll move on. Did you guys notice that apparently on the front of the car that ran into Roman Reigns, they had a camera?
Yeah, and that's stupid.
That was the stupidest thing.
Like, who ran over Roman? I don't know. Whose fucking camera did you put in there?
Yeah,
I mean,
obviously they rigged that car with a camera for the highlights. Oh my god. Okay, unless it was Vince McMahon planned it, then it makes no sense now. It makes absolutely no sense.
Like, when they ran it, they didn't show it till a week after. And when I saw that, I was so mad.
Oh, yeah, dude. You just...
Yep.
Because we were on here when it happened, was like, man, that was really good. It wasn't overproduced like that stupid
They were like, oh,
And then
wait.
it was overproduced a week later.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we overproduced it, but we're going to give you a second before we show you that. Fucking stupid.
Speaking of overproduced, I have to shout out Kevin Owens hitting Elias with the chair at SummerSlam. The overproduction of the camera. He's up in the air and it's one camera, and then he swings the chair and it's another camera, back and forth, back and forth.
Oh,
back
the
and
shot to
forth.
shot. Oh, I hate that too, Rob. I'm right with you,
It
man.
was so bad. It was so bad. Before I got back into wrestling, I seen a clip of like 15 camera angle shots in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Once.
They do that.
That's bad.
They would do the rapid zoom in, zoom out, or like when someone's wailing on someone with a camera, the cameraman's like following them up and down instead of giving you a still shot. Oh, I hate that, dude. It doesn't bother me until I see it exposed from like a person's cell phone, and then I'm like, oh god, that really is cheesy. It's like super cheesy. Daniel Bryan comes out afterwards, denies all accountability for him and Rowan, says Buddy Murphy gave up the name just because he was squeezed by Roman. Anybody in that position getting manhandled by Roman Reigns is going to give up a name just to get Roman off of him. Kind of makes sense. But
You know what doesn't make sense? Where's Daniel Bryan's announcement? I'm never going to let it go. Never, ever, Vince. Never.
it's just like Vince McMahon's lockbox, bro. It's in the past.
You can't. It's gonna dangle. It's gonna bobble. It's gonna bobble.
I'm telling you, Rob.
Every time I see Daniel Bryan, he could become the world champion and the Universal champion and a 24/7 champion, and he can hold both tag titles at one time because he beat the two wrestlers at the same time that held the belts. I'm gonna be like, "Where's your announcement, bro? Fuck your belts. Where's your announcement?" Just saying. Oh, I'm just trolling. I'm just trolling because it really does irk me. It really does. And I want to know what the announcement was. I want to know if it got botched, or if there really was an announcement, or if the point of the storyline was to trigger people like me, and for the rest of my life wonder what his announcement was.
I really have
Carry on.
No. I really have
Carry
a
on.
feeling he was supposed to announce going to 205 Live, and then they cooled on that. But I don't know, man. It might still be coming up, Rob.
A few people said that, but as I was mentioning earlier, I don't look behind the curtain.
Yeah.
So I have no idea.
So from a story point, it's like y'all told me he had an announcement, and now it's just like, I don't know,
exactly.
man. Who knows, man?
But if you were to put a ballot in front of my face, like what was Daniel Bryan's announcement, my answer would be yes, 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 because I expected him to be like, I'm back. Yes, yes, yes.
I'm a good guy again. Yes, yes.
I'm down for that. I'd be all about it. And the crowd would be too. So I'm just saying.
Please like me again. I am sorry for being vegan and telling you that we're destroying the planet.
Speaking of, we can move on after I say this. The crowd was chanting Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
And my thought was, I was probably the only guy in the world thinking this. What was your damn announcement?
No.
When he came out to first do the announcement, the crowd was chanting anti-Daniel. I forget what they were chanting, but it was anti-him, and that's why he didn't give the announcement. I was like, why couldn't you assholes chant this when he was about to announce the shit? Then he'd be like, here's my announcement. Because you're
He would have been
me,
more receptive.
Not me. That was my legit train of thought, and it's never going to die. So if you're a listener, I apologize. I'm going to bring it up.
Well,
Every
someone
time
else
Daniel Bryan's
who-
on my screen.
No, great segue. Someone else who blames the crowd for spreading slander was Daniel Bryan. He blamed society for spreading rumors and lighting a fire under Buddy Murphy's words, and pretty much says bad people, bad society. Says though they will prove their innocence later in the show. Got some more Shane McMahon stuff. He backstage hanging out in his destroyed office. He's asked who Kevin Owens' opponent is going to be. Samoa Joe shows up, takes on the offer. We get Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens, and I am intrigued, and I know Sebastian is too, man, because these boys, they're some of our NXT alumni, man, and anytime you get them mixing it up, dude, it's good stuff.
Yeah, I really hope. I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted about it. I hope Joe doesn't turn into one of Shane's lackeys, but at the same time, it's if it happens, it's probably going to lead to wins.
Well, he needs to be heel again, and the easiest way to get heel is just stand next to Shane McMahon.
Yeah,
You
and
know
like
what
I
I
said,
mean?
he'll get some wins too.
Yeah.
So
Because Joe was
I don't
on the
know,
verge of being a foregone conclusion in his matches. You know he's like 0-9, like 0-8, 0-9 in WWE World Championship matches.
yeah.
He's had almost double digits worth of championship, world championship matches, and he's lost every single one. That kind of upsets my stomach a little bit thinking about that. That, Rob, you don't need to peek behind the curtain, man. That's just stats, okay?
That's valid.
That's just stats, all right?
That's Vince dangling the fucking telephone pole with $1 in front of his face. Oh, you almost had it that time.
Dude, don't even know. I don't need that visual, all right? That's fucked up. Don't do Joe like that.
You gotta try harder than that.
Don't do Joe like that, okay? God damn it. Like, so bad.
Joe hang out with Jake from State Farm.
Jake from State Farm. What the fuck, man?
You gotta be quicker than that.
Oh my god. Aleister Black was backstage, and at this point, I put it out on Twitter, man. At this point, all these promos I'm just referring to as him expressing his open door policy. Because that's all it is. He just says in a clever way, I'm here for a fight. Anyone who wants to fight me, just knock on my door. It sounds like
and
a
Bray
good
Wyatt is
boss.
still saying, let me in, and they're just ignoring that fact. I'm still
I
throwing
know,
it out.
man.
No. I don't even want to do it. No.
Hey, I'm not the one that put two pieces of a puzzle together perfectly.
Yo, Rob and I
ignored.
flipped out when we made that connection, dude. When me and Rob thought
Yes.
we were like detectives onto something, we
And
legit
that
were
was like
losing our
months
mind
ago.
on the
Look.
That
air.
was months ago.
Look,
Oh my god!
delete.
Oh my god! Black says knock knock, and Bray says let me in. Oh my god!
I delete Twitter.
If the Fiend
Like,
shows up and destroys
No.
Aleister Black.
No, either way you go, you're gonna have people complain that Black got buried, or I mean, it's just no. Either way you go, there's gonna be so many complaints.
I say do a triple threat between Aleister Black, the Demon Balor, and the Fiend at WrestleMania.
Like down the line, I'd love to see that match, but not this early. No, not when they're both just been repackaged.
And hot.
Start.
And
Repackaged into a perfectly fitting fucking puzzle piece that's gonna fucking dangle. Just
Well,
saying.
you.
They
I
can dangle
don't
it for another
necessarily
year.
want to. I don't keep bringing it up because I want to see the feud. I just keep bringing it up because they made the puzzle piece and it's just dangling there.
It is
I'm
no,
sure-
it is perfect
Dangling.
synergy, man. With what Rob's saying is Aleister Black. There's a door. There's literally a door
Yeah.
in both sets. And could you imagine if the camera just panned out and it's like one of those like studios, like Hollywood studios, and you have Firefly Funhouse and Aleister Black's setting separated by just that one wall and that one door, dude.
While
Oh.
Firefly Funhouse and a promo is both being cut with cameramen
Yeah,
and
man.
everything.
Like, in a year, yeah. And, maybe that's why they're kind of dangling it for, long term. When it finally happens, everybody explodes. But no, not right now.
It's so
But then
clever.
one loses and everybody complains. Whether you wait a year or 10 years.
I know.
Just saying.
There's no
Yeah.
winners actually in that match. Like
there
in
really
the
isn't.
segment, yes, best segment in the world. In the match, there are no winners.
But like in a year, I don't think one of them losing the problem. Kind of like we talked about earlier with Ember losing. I don't make her look bad. I mean, just because she lost the match, somebody has to lose, right? But when you do it so early, like that would be if the feud started now, it'd be the Fiend's second match and Black's third
Right.
because he's only had Cesaro and Zayn. So it's just too early for one of them to take a loss right now, I think.
I got you, man. I got you.
Okay. So make everybody happy. They don't feud, but Bray Wyatt fights Finn Balor or the Demon or whatever, and after the match, Aleister Black comes and steps on the ramp and he just stares at him and then leaves.
I think they just battle
Alistair
over
had the
entrances,
match.
man. Like I think it should just be like a crowd, like the winner by applause. Like, they all three do their entrances, and then all three of the guys stand in the ring, and then someone just says, cheer for whose entrance was the coolest. And then that's it. Like, that's it, man.
But that's not fair. How you going to favor Bray Wyatt like that?
Because his entrance is the best, Rob, okay? The Fiend's entrance is hot.
I'm saying, that's not fair.
Although, rumor has it...
Like, at least give Alistair a chance in the ring.
Yeah, rumor has it, though, is that they might
God.
already be pulling the plug on the severed head. And what sparked the rumor was they on YouTube put out the full entrance from SummerSlam, and then like a day later they pulled it and then edited it down to just a couple seconds to clip out all the footage of the severed head.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's hard to keep a PG rating when you have a severed
PG,
head, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you have a pay-per-view, you can change the rating for a show. But as far as like the whole channel of YouTube, it's kind of hard to.
Yeah, we'll see,
back
man.
and
I hope
forth.
they don't. I hope they don't take that from him.
I
mean,
hope it's Finn's head next.
Yeah, me too. Oh my God, if it's Finn's head, I'm so cool with that.
But back to Alistair, just like the thing though, I know a lot of people are getting tired of these promos and want them in the ring, being Alistair Black. But man, less is more. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly good with Black doing what he's doing right now.
You don't need to put him on
there's so
TV
many
every week.
people-
You don't need to put him on
And
TV every
just-
week. That's the thing.
And there's so many people that's complained already. God, the thing debuted at SummerSlam. He's not showed up to Raw or SmackDown. What a shame. What a waste. No, it's not a waste. No, it's not. Less is more.
No, you're absolutely right. I just Alistair Black. I've been saying it for a while now. I don't want his promos to fall into like what Bray Wyatt's promos were. Every week you just talk a lot and you try to sound clever, but at the end of the day, your message is vague and you don't say anything. I'll give Alistair Black, he does have a message at the end of every promo, and it's just knock at my door. Please knock on my door.
Well, I don't think it was the message that ruined Bray. I think it was just him losing match after match. If Alistair keeps doing what he's doing and continues winning.
But they kept giving
I don't-
Bray these extended promos where he literally would say nothing. Like, he just would talk in circles, but say nothing, dude. Granted, the wins, the losses contributed heavily to it. I'm not taking nothing away from that. Bray was just in a bad spot. But his promos didn't add nothing after a while, because there was no significance to them.
After you lose so many times, though, you just zone him out. You
Yeah,
know,
like, it doesn't matter. Like
it
you all
means-
talk.
Yeah.
I
Like,
got you.
you're gonna say you're gonna kill somebody, but we all know you're gonna get
It's
pinned.
just like, it's like, yeah, man, we saw you lose to a cruiserweight last week, okay? You can chill on the badass. All right.
So if Alistair keeps what he's doing but continues to win, I don't have.
Speaking of a badass cruiserweight, Roman versus Buddy Murphy was up next. This was a lot of people.
How, I gotta ask real fast. How is Buddy Murphy a cruiserweight?
I have no
His
idea how
left
that dude really made
weighs
205.
more than the entire 205 roster.
I'm telling you, yeah, he does not look like he's 205. But according to them, he cut weight to get there. You know. Boy, I'll give him one thing, man. They
Kayfabe.
No, that's not even. Nope. You can't kayfabe something that's in my face. It's just there.
No, you get look. That's why they don't put people on scales on 205, man. They don't even do it. Just
speaking of,
I mean, the Undertaker ain't really dead. So
yeah,
Wait, what?
so,
I said the Undertaker ain't really dead.
they're
so
not. Yeah, they're
I
not
can
going to bring out a
believe
real
Not
mortician.
Not playing.
But
Oh, it made me sad because Paul Bearer is.
hey, okay, we just turned a dark corner. Oh,
Oh,
show's over,
back to Buddy
folks.
and Roman.
Show's over. We can't come back
I
from
miss
this.
Paul Bearer. Undertaker.
Oh my God, this is getting tasteless. Buddy Murphy hit a knee early in the match. Just
I actually thought Buddy Murphy was gonna win this match.
yeah,
I
they tried to
did.
they tried to drive that home, man. They tried to drive it home that he'd have a chance at winning, and I would have been cool with him winning. Say even with a little underhanded, like he does everything here, and then he wins by grabbing the tights or getting the feet on the ropes. You know, it's because even then, like nobody else can beat Roman anyways. Like it's Roman you can't beat even with underhanded tactics, unless you're hitting him with like a sledgehammer. But
Well, if you do it like that, you lose half the story, though. Like, half the story of this match was Buddy
Murphy's
earning Roman's
legit.
respect.
Yeah, and they did refer to Murphy after the end that he's no longer the best kept secret, because this really was his coming out party.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean they gave him the majority of the match. They gave him offense.
Man, there's some cool spots in this match. Like when Roman threw Buddy on that announce table, he got some height on that.
Yeah.
And that meteor outside off the steps when Roman was on the floor, that was neat. Like, I haven't, of course, you see meteors and stuff. Most of the time, they're standing up and crap. So that was different, and I like that.
Yeah, I liked Murphy. You don't see Roman get his spear counter too often, and they let Murphy counter it with like a flying knee. Then he hit a couple more knees and a brain buster, really selling the sense of urgency to put Roman away. But that would be his last hurrah. They get out of the ring. Roman hits a Superman punch off the stairs. Rob instantly tweets me. I was like, I hate the fucking Superman punch.
It's so stupid.
Stupid. You know, it's because he doesn't deliver it correctly. The Superman punch
it's
is...
because it's the punch.
Yeah.
It's a punch.
I know.
Like,
the Superman punch, in real life, it's devastating, but Roman doesn't even throw it correctly. Like, he doesn't even throw it right. But that's...
Okay, maybe if he did throw it better, it'd be cool.
It'd look more devastating.
And for those who want to like bring up Lacey Evans and her punch, you hear it. You hear the women's right. I'm just gonna throw it out there. You hear it. Roman Reigns, I'm gonna jump and I'm gonna punch you on the top of the head, but not even really.
The only punch that should be allowed to be a finisher is the Big Show's KO punch. Okay, because that's legit. That'll kill you. All right. The Big Show should be able to punch you in the stomach and finish a match. Anyways, yeah, Roman gets the Superman punch off the stairs, and then hits a spear. And wow, man, talk about a week of people selling the spear good.
He sold it better than Dolph.
I'm telling you, he did a backflip from the spear. I was like, Jesus, dude. Man, him and Dolph should have a match against each other and just see who can sell each other's offense the best.
That was the moment I lost all faith. I really thought Buddy Murphy was going to be the guy to beat Roman Reigns.
No. But they did.
That was the moment where I lost all faith.
Yeah. He needs wins after this, though. Because that was his coming out match. He needs wins. You can't
Can we talk about how undervalued Roman's facial expressions are?
You know, I didn't notice this match.
Did you notice?
But my face was in Twitter during the match. I was half in and out, so... Roman's good, though. Roman's good in the ring, man. He sells the story and everything.
Like, during the match, I think it was after he gets out of the first Superman punch, Roman looks at the camera, shakes his head, but like with disgust, and he's just like, "Who is this?" Now, he literally said, "Who is this guy?"
That's
then
awesome.
after the match, like Roman really, and that's why I said if you did the dirty tactics for the win, that's you lose half the story. The main story of this match was Buddy really earning Roman's
He's a
respect.
legit contender.
Yes.
Yeah. No, you're right. You are right. Yeah, because they shouldn't make him the heel who's got to cheat to win. But he needs a couple
And look,
wins
he's
after
getting
this.
attacked backstage now, too. So I honestly it wouldn't surprise me to see a face turn kind of come out, especially after the fan reaction tonight to that match and to Buddy. And it wouldn't surprise me to turn face.
So if the goal is here to make Buddy a legit threat, who's the first guy he needs to go over, like, decisively? Who do y'all think? Who does he need to beat?
Drake Maverick.
Oh, that's mean.
I don't know. Like,
I'd say Apollo Crews.
sure, yeah. Like, the only reason I'm having trouble is, like I said, the way they earning the respect type thing they did tonight and getting attacked backstage. I mean, it could be a face turn, or they could keep him heel. Like, it could go either way, and that kind of mixes up the answer. Like, it leads to, I don't know, Apollo's possible.
I want to see strong contenders, man. I want to see believable guys with claims to the championship that aren't already established. You know, I want to see a couple mid-card breakouts. Doesn't mean I'm not trying to get what Rob dislikes, like everyone needs a chance at the title. That's not what I'm trying to say. But it wouldn't hurt to get like 1 to 3 new faces that are believable contenders to that title. You know, and that's really all I'm striving for. I want to see a new face emerge that could be like, oh, shoot, that guy might be able to go at the champion. You know.
And the King of the Ring is really a chance to do
Hopefully,
that. And not just
no, you're
the
right.
winner.
Hopefully,
Not
you're
just
right.
the winner. They have a chance because if you look at this field, there's a couple people where they ain't got like. Chad Gable probably don't have a chance. Shelton Benjamin probably don't. I don't think Elias does. I mean, there's people, but I mean, you got Drew McIntyre, you got Andrade, you got Samoa Joe, you got Ricochet. I mean, there's about 6 believable names and they're not just young guys. Like if you look at Samoa Joe, we talk about how he's damaged booking. Like that's automatically reset right there.
You could, yeah. Especially if he steams through it too.
Like you can make or remake 3 to 4 people if you do it right in this tournament. And Buddy Murphy's in it too. And that could be why he was so impressive.
Hey, good point. Very good point.
Ali is in it. I mean, there's a lot of names in it.
Yeah, a lot of first timers for this King of the Ring tournament. And speaking of first timers, we have the first ever co 24/7 champions backstage, the Revival, being interviewed. They're challenging the New Day. Says that the New Day are the flag bearers of the tag division, and they're ruining it because they're all jokes. That's everybody's way of picking on the New Day now. Is like these guys are the best tag teams in the world, but gosh darn it, they're too silly. You know, like it's so. It is what it is, man. And I'm not gonna lie, I was enjoying everything about SmackDown, but I was really tuning out the main event once I realized it was New Day and Revival. I was like, it just feels like a match for the sake of a match. We cut to backstage. New Day, they're hyping each other up for their match against the Revival, just to drive home that is the main event. Then we get arguably what could have been the main event, Kevin Owens versus... oh, wait, go ahead.
I do want to, before we move on, I want to plug the New Day and the new Skittles commercial.
That is an awesome commercial. Yeah. That's up there with the levels of silliness like Terry Crews and Old Spice. Like that
exactly what the Revival was talking about.
Yeah.
But before we go forward, I want to go back. Before the show, I made a post and I said I'm about to destroy my Twitter. Did anybody say Cedric was buried last night in a great losing effort against Drew McIntyre?
Who? Oh, Cedric?
Last night.
No, yeah. I didn't.
Nobody said he was buried, right? Like nobody on. I didn't see a single word about that on Twitter. But because it's Roman Reigns that did this night, there was so many people shitting on that, saying Buddy was buried.
Well, I think it's because Roman's got that aura of that he's unbeatable. He's got that John Cena feel to him, where Drew McIntyre doesn't. Drew's 8 losses to Cedric, you know? So I feel like there's that stigma, that difference. Although, kayfabe-wise, Drew McIntyre should be just as big of a threat as Roman Reigns is.
I don't think that, man. I just think it's the people, like, not just the aura, just people's personal feelings toward Roman.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, you know, he was shoved down our throats the last, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
it's hard to forget that. I mean, I'm over it. Personally, I'm over it. I love how they're using Roman. They put him in the middle of the show. They kept him off SummerSlam because they didn't have anything for him. You know what I mean? Instead of just shoehorning a match in for the sake of getting him on the card, I love they're using him properly. But not everybody's going to give him that leeway. A lot of people are they're just not going to get behind it for the sake of the past. And they know that he's supposed to be the top face.
But because he is, ain't that more of a reason that Buddy wouldn't be buried in this situation?
Yeah.
That he gave him all he could give him. Like, Roman couldn't handle no more. Roman was almost beat.
It's the internet, man.
I know. I'm just saying. Like,
trying to talk reason with the internet. It's like trying to talk reason with Rob Roode, man. He just ain't going to get
the word. Just the word buried in general.
The difference between the internet and me is I won't call you a bitch and block you. I'll stick to my guns.
Just the word buried in general is thrown around way too often.
It really is. It really is. Like,
yeah.
It makes me so mad.
I've been getting worse lately on Twitter. Like, I'm good at just scrolling past it and just move on. But somebody said something exactly what you just said. Oh, Buddy Murphy got buried. People need to fucking. He didn't get buried. I was like, people are gonna bitch no matter what. And I hit the send button. There's a lot of times I tweet something and then I don't hit the send button. But this time I did. It may not be that big a deal, but I don't do things like that. Like, I leave it alone. People bitch, man.
Your cynicism is rubbing off on my positive aura. It's like,
Bitch. Like,
Just
stop bitching.
it's
trying
just
to
the
tell
word,
Twitter
man.
to stop
Like,
bitching Rob is gonna be impossible.
Yeah, it's
now,
not
bro.
happening. I just hate the word buried anymore, man. Like, it just gets thrown out way
Yeah.
too often.
No, you're
Like,
right.
somebody can lose one match out of 8, and they'll be like, "Oh, buried. This push is over." I'm like, no, man. Long-term storytelling. Be patient.
Yeah,
For once, you know.
it's the generation of instant gratification, man. We're all victims of it at times. But yeah, we'll go ahead. Let's round the show out because we have a couple questions to get to, and we're almost an hour in already. So
We were at Joe KO, right?
yeah, Joe KO with Elias as a special ring enforcer / referee, just an outside referee. You know, same thing he was at SummerSlam essentially. But the 24/7 rule is still suspended. Essentially, he gets makes his presence known early on. Whenever Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe go to the outside, Elias interjects, puts himself in between him and Kevin Owens, so we can't get any offense off in the outside. Ultimately, it leads to KO getting the upper hand, going for a pin. Elias pulls the referee out the ring. Him and KO start getting into it, slacking jaw at each other. And Samoa Joe rolls up Kevin Owens, and Elias is up there as the quickest 3 count in history. Like, I've seen some fast 3 counts, man.
I gotta shout that original ref. Did you see that bump he took?
He fell, man.
Flat out landed like as a board. He had no way to prep for that fall hitting that mat like on the outside of the ring. I just want to throw that out there.
No, man.
Like,
Those refs, man. Underrated heroes, bro. Underrated heroes.
valid.
Man.
Elias should be fined $100,000.
Yes. Kevin Owens needs to bring that up on next week's SmackDown. So we cut to Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan. This looks like we're wondering here, are we getting the big reveal? Because they said they were on the case to who attacked Roman. They go to the locker room and do the same thing that apparently the locker room, they scatter like freaking roaches with the light turning on. Because anybody can, I guess, just walk in the locker room and say, everyone get out. And no one protests. Like, you have 20 guys. And they're like, oh, never mind. But anyways.
I just died on Ariana's toy. Like, I just fell. Oh, my God.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Jesus Christ.
Just man down. Daniel Bryan and Rowan start interviewing Murphy. And when I say interview, I mean just toss him all around the locker room. And then they ended
Can
up
we talk about how close Daniel Bryan's face got to Buddy Murphy?
Oh, yeah, there was like nose to nose.
Like, it's one of them situations where somebody says they're not sitting on the TV remote, and you're just like, bitch, I know you are.
Oh, man.
I was actually...
This is a moment where I'm like, I don't care if we're working or not. I don't care if we're pretending or not. Get the fuck out of my face.
No, what I was thinking more or less is that's got to be hard not to crack up. Because you're live.
Right,
it's
right,
not like you
right,
could do
right.
multiple takes. Like, in my mind, I'm like, dude, don't start laughing. Don't start laughing. I'm like, oh, shit, he sweat on me. Like, dude, like... Oh, my God.
In his eyes, too. Like,
yeah.
it was just blurry.
Daniel Bryan is one of the best ever, man. And we've gone into it before, but no, he really is. They ultimately end up doing the same thing with Buddy Murphy that Roman Reigns did. They got him pressed against the wall, forearm in the face, yelling at him. Except instead of saying give up who it was, they're saying admit you lied. Ultimately, he concedes and says he lied. And then Rowan, because they're the bad guys, Rowan ends up throwing him one more time for good measure. So from there, it leads into Roman's backstage looking for Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan. But it cuts away before we get anywhere. We get
It
a
took him 40 minutes to find the locker.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just going to say that same thing.
Yeah.
Come on. I try to keep it kayfabe, but that's a little too kayfabe for me, man.
No, man. What happened was he got distracted. He saw that Rob Roode was tweeting about him, And so he had to stop and start reading the tweets, man.
You think my Superman punch is dumb, huh?
Yeah, exactly. But he had to sign on as one of his like his alias tweets. He couldn't let you know that he was really responding to you. That's kayfabe what happened.
Speaking of which, I have to shout it real fast. When I was in my motion to get fucking Corbin to unblock me, somebody DM'd me and was like, I know Baron Corbin's personal Twitter account. That's not his WWE account. I'm like, did you really just, like, I'm just going to ignore your message. Just saying. I had to throw that out there. I was like, get out of here.
I don't want to.
Even if you do happen to know his personal account.
It's going a little far, right? Like, hey, man. Hey, I know your name is Steven. Steven, can you unblock me from your Hollywood Twitter account, please? It would mean a lot. I don't know actually what his name is. It's not Steven. I'm pretty sure it's not.
Right. Like, even if, like, I wouldn't want that. That's not what I want. I want the kayfabe, Baron Corbin, to unblock me on Twitter so I can see his fire tweets about his workouts and watch it. Just saying.
Oh, man. We got a King of the Ring promo. I'm hyped for it, you guys. And it looks like a lot of Twitter is, too. Good. They need to be. We need to show Vince and WWE that we're excited and we'll get invested into this tournament. And it should be used to create new stars and tomorrow's superstars. Then we got the least exciting match of the night for me personally. I'll let you guys, if you guys want to try and build it back up. The New Day versus the Revival. Kofi's out there with the New Day. Randy comes out. Pretty much just claims that Kofi's victory was a tainted victory, that saying that he ran away, you can't actually beat me. You're gonna live with this in front of your wife and kids. You know, when you grow old, they're still gonna know you're like a cheater and a coward, essentially. And I'm like, oh man, so he's about to lay out their next pay-per-view match, and he's like, but we could do this. We could do it right now. Let's do a 6-man tag, because that's a proper way to do a blow-off feud right there, right? Let's finish that unfinished SummerSlam match with a 6-man tag on SmackDown. That
put me with two guys that you wouldn't have guessed that I'd be with tonight in a million years.
Randy Orton, not in a million years does he give a shit about the Revival. Like, oh my God. Like, I don't hate this match, but it did not make me care about it either. Like, I'm actually really just apathetic, and I'm trying to emphasize where my apathy came from.
The only thing that had me excited about this match was, those who don't know, Randy Orton is my boo. Like, he is my new age nowadays Shawn Michaels. Like, Shawn Michaels is my all-time favorite, but nowadays Randy Orton is my favorite. So, what had me excited
gonna
was
block the shit out of you again.
He ain't been around. I forgot about it.
Wow. Different area codes, bro.
Right. But no, for real. The only thing that had me hyped really about this match was the fact that you have a Randy Orton, you're going to have RKOs. And man, did we get RKOs. We got so many. I was so happy. I didn't know I needed the entire New Day catching an RKO in my life until it happened.
Yeah, no, he did. As predictable as it could be, if the New Day were to lose, which they were, Xavier Woods, once again, taking the designated pin from a shatter machine. I did like that Kofi fights off the post-fight beatdown by the Revival. Hitting, I think, Dawson, as Dawson came off. It could have been Dash. I get them mixed up, but hit one of them as they came off the top rope with a drop kick from the ground, and then hit the other with a Trouble in Paradise. But he came through, got RKO'd by Randy Orton. Randy kind of lifted Truth's like lifeless head up off the mat while he was smelling the canvas to look at, I think, Big E, where Randy Orton went over to him, RKO'd him, and then RKO'd Woods. I could have those two reversed too. I can't remember the order, but you're right. Randy Orton RKO'd the whole New Day, which I don't know if it's the smartest. I don't know if it's the smartest thing, because I don't think that, the Revival, kayfabe-wise, care to be in your faction, bro. You know what I mean? You might just piss off the entire New Day by yourself, and I don't care how good the Viper is, bro.
I don't think it was because of he wanted Thatch. I took it as Randy's just playing mind games. Dude.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Like, if you go back to our SummerSlam show, I specifically said that Randy was going to use Big E and Xavier
You
to
did.
get at Kofi.
No, you did, man. You did. It wasn't prior to SummerSlam. It's now post.
And I when he grabbed Kofi's hair, remember I made a joke about shaving Xavier's afro just for the hell of it. When he grabbed Kofi's hair, I thought sure he was going to get scissors. I was like,
oh, Randy's
But,
character would be the only one that would do that too. Randy's character's sick enough that he would do that.
But I didn't have a problem with the segment. Like, it wasn't a 5-star match, don't get me wrong.
I
But
just
it
couldn't
sets
care
up
about
those
it.
things.
I just couldn't care about it, man. I was like, I get
It sets up
it does. It's just not the plot device I wanted, and that's just a personal thing. 6-man tags are just instantly like blah to me, man, because there's too many parties involved. Not all parties are going to be involved going forward, and yeah. But I mean, it is what it is, and you're right. You're right. It did further the story. It just wasn't.
well, not just them. It also kicked off and it's fresh too. Revival and New Day's a fresh feed. Like, we're not getting the repeated Usos revival or whatever it may be.
know. We're
It's
gonna
a
get
fresh feud.
We're gonna get a Raw tag team feuding with the SmackDown champs.
Well, I mean, we might as well get over that. At this point.
I know, right? Yeah,
Like-
I know. That's just a
Like, it's not even a wild card anymore. Like, Raw
no.
2 weeks ago, I think had like 9 people from SmackDown. So
I don't even know who's at who. You could offer me $1 million right now to say 10 guys from Raw and 10 guys from SmackDown. I would not be making $1 million.
I remember them. Like, I think
I
it
know.
was you Kyle, that made that post, and I was like,
Yeah, no, I
this
really
is the
didn't.
people-
I had forgotten by that point. Since they weren't calling them wild cards anymore, I was like, man, I can't even recall where these guys belong anymore.
But
The only
No,
ones
I
I know
just-
is that Roman's a SmackDown guy. That Roman and Elias are a SmackDown guy. Those are the only two I really know because it was a story role thing about SmackDown's biggest acquisition.
I do know Daniel Bryan is SmackDown, like minus wild card.
Yeah.
I know Bryan's SmackDown. That's really about it that I know, like for sure off the top of my head.
and
But
another thing,
again,
man,
I said earlier in the show, I don't pay attention to things like that. I should, but I
there's-
don't. I just don't.
Yeah.
another thing, you gotta think we still got 5 weeks of TV before the pay-per-view. Like,
Yeah. No,
so
I know.
this was it's hard to go 6 weeks with something major happening. Like, this
fire
is
every week. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I just it's you're capping off Takeover and SummerSlam week. You can't help but feel like you want to feel like a specialness, and I guess SmackDown, like the specialness was Ember Moon and Buddy Murphy showcasing their skills, just ultimately on the losing side of things, and. That's why, like I said, like it's weird because I think SmackDown was a really, really good show. It just still disappointed me, and I guess maybe that's just me getting my expectations too high for it.
Take it from the Rob Roode and
Just
don't have them.
just don't set. Oh yeah,
Like
Like, I thought-
go
It's
into a
better-
match
really
and be
like
like,
this show.
it's
But
better
I
than
don't care who wins or loses. If I see an RKO, I'm happy. Like, I was bummed that Randy Orton didn't beat Kofi Kingston. Now, for those listening that do pay attention to stories and this and that, I understand Randy Orton is old. He's had his time. He's probably not going to win the title. But looking at it from a kayfabe standpoint, and Randy Orton is my favorite, I was ready for Randy Orton to take Kofi Kingston's title. But in the back of my mind, I knew it wasn't going to happen. But I caught my RKO. Kofi Kingston took an RKO. I was happy. Okay, the end of the match was boo-boo. Everybody hated it. I seen an RKO. I'm a happy camper.
And
Let's go.
I do personally. I don't think it's gonna be this, but I see Randy getting another title run before it's all said and done.
Well, I saw a couple people, I don't know, like fantasy booking, saying that now that WWE is acknowledging where he stands with all-time title reigns so heavily, which case he's in 4th place for all-time title reigns. You got John Cena and Ric Flair tied in first with 16, Triple H in second with 15, and then Randy Orton in third with 14. Some people have been saying that Randy Orton needs to get 2 more title reigns to tie John Cena, and then have a WrestleMania match for the all-time title reigns. Which I was like, man, to get there would be crazy, like would be difficult, but if you did get there naturally, yeah, I'd be all for that. I'd be all for it, man. Battle
I
of
don't know,
like
man.
the all-time title
I don't know if
reigns.
John Cena would come out of the
Oh,
unwritten
John Cena
retirement that he
would.
finally admitted to. Is that what you're talking about, or did I? That's what I caught. That's what you're talking about, right?
What are you talking about?
Are you talking about John Cena or fighting Triple H?
No, John Cena. Randy Orton fighting John Cena for the all-time title reigns.
Okay. Yes. I don't think John Cena would come back out for it because he is smarter than a 5th grader. And don't do it.
Shut up, Scrub.
Oh, God. I was hoping for a moment to use that plug-in at work. Yes,
Oh,
I
my
love
God, dude. I didn't catch it till the end. The show ended with backstage Roman Reigns confronts Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan. Daniel Bryan is saying that Roman owes him an apology like he delivered Samoa Joe. Roman stands there all stoic, not saying anything. And then Daniel Bryan says, guess what? We found out who did it. We'll tell you next week. Just kayfabe.
And I was like, no, you won't, because you're a liar.
You're a liar.
You don't tell people things you say you're going to tell them.
So they go off the air, and before we get into the questions, kayfabe-wise, after they went off the air, how does Roman end up okay with this?
He's a wrestler, dude. He's a wrestler. He knows it goes weak.
Yeah, he's like, okay, whatever.
He's like, yeah, my life does revolve around 1 or 2 days a week, so sure, yeah, I'm good.
I can hold off a week for somebody who knows who attempted to kill me.
He's like, I probably won't see that guy for the next 5 days anyway.
I know.
Yeah, well, wait.
I can just
Either
picture Roman
that-
Reigns. They're at mess hall,
the
like they're at catering, and Roman's like, "Come on, you guys."
I was gonna say,
You tried to run me over.
The camera cut. He was like, "Come on, tell me. I promise I won't beat him up till Monday."
I'll wait till we're on TV. Oh, wrestling's stupid. All right, let's get into these questions, man. I'm so happy, man. Shout out to you guys on Twitter for going ahead and responding to us and giving us questions to answer on air, adding to the content. I'm just trying to pad time till I pull up these questions. What the hell? It was in a post, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Okay. All right, here we go. I think we got 7 questions. I think we got a couple. We'll see. Okay, we got Colin the wrestling fan. This guy is one of our most outspoken fans, and shout out to you, Colin. He's at Wrestling Chump. I think he's got 2 questions for us. So the first one is we've kind of already answered it. King of the Ring, yay or nay?
That's
Yes.
That's a yay. Yeah, come on now. The next question he said is he spoke to you, Sebastian, earlier, but wants to hear mine and Rob's take on it. Does Sasha deserve the pop she got last night, considering the way she left? I think Rob and I will have different opinions on this.
I know he's asking for y'all's, but I've had this on my mind since he's asked this. So I kind of want to get back on this.
Go ahead.
Oh, just me or Rob? I think Rob's about to explode up.
No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
Yeah, either of you, man. I mean, come on now. Come on. Don't let
I'll go
dead
after you.
air.
You're good. You seem very excited to give your answer.
Yeah, he's right.
Look, this has happened before. From Steve Austin to Bret Hart. This is going to happen again. There's going to be somebody that's don't feel appreciated enough. They're going to walk out. And it's nothing new. And here's the thing. In the women's division, it's a lot smaller number than the men. Okay? And the men like triple them. Sasha is top 5, undoubtedly, in in-ring ability and on the mic. There's really no one else that, like, I don't know, she's probably the top. She knows her worth, and she went for it. And it's missed her. like, say what you want, Becky Lynch hasn't had a legitimate opponent. She beat Penn Rousey, and I know Rob loves Lacey Evans, but she's unproven. She's a rookie. Like, what do you get by beating somebody in her first match? And then we get Natalya because she's in Toronto. Now Sasha comes, legitimate, can hang with her on a mic, can hang with her in the ring. That's something that Becky hasn't had.
Right.
So, I think this is great. Sasha coming back as a heel. She's a much better heel, in my opinion,
Absolutely.
than a face.
Yeah.
But, look, say what you want. These guys don't have health care. They got to pay for their own transportation. At some point, you got to know what you're worth when it comes to all that.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
these men and women are going out and risking their lives, and if they get hurt, they got to pay with it out of pocket.
Yeah, and that's one of the more controversial takes on the business. Is
so,
that
if you feel like you're one of these top people, and look, it took a lot for Sasha, because say what you want, Sasha loves the business. She always has, and that's came through on television. So it had to take a lot for her to just walk out like that.
Yeah, no,
so, yeah.
I agree. Rob, you go ahead, because you're one of the people who you pay less attention to the backstage.
I'll keep it short and sweet.
Yeah.
Kayfabe wise, I'm glad she's back, because she's probably gonna be the one to take Becky Lynch's title. I'm tired of Becky Lynch being the champ. I want to see something new. That's that. Behind the scenes wise, life's unfair. Don't cry about it. Plain and simple. I'm gonna say flat out blunt. Life's unfair. You guys don't get health insurance. You guys have to pay for your own transportation. Go to another line of work. I mean, everybody.
That's kind of cool.
Everybody in WWE is undercut. Everybody's forgotten about. That's the way WWE works.
Well, here's my rebuttal.
If I were to tell my boss I'm unhappy and I feel like I'm not being used to my full potential, okay, goodbye. Go find another job. Goodbye.
Here's my rebuttal.
That's my opinion on it.
Toward that. Fox, this is obviously going to be... A lot of people look at this as a sport, and that's evident. Fox wouldn't want it if it wasn't sports-like. If you look at the NBA, MLB, whatever, there's a labor law. These guys, those people make a lot more than these people. They get all these benefits. These guys don't have crap. And like I said, there's 3 times the men as women. Sasha's top 5 in both. She shouldn't be... She's a star. That's like if Drew McIntyre was treated like she was.
Yeah.
In a way.
No, I get it. And you know what? Us as fans too, we're fickle people, because you take other people like Neville, for instance. Everybody was behind Neville when he sat out his contract. He didn't like the way he was being booked, so he's like, you know what? Screw you guys. Screw the man. And you know what? There wasn't as many people trying to drag his name through the dirt. They were like, yeah, man, you know what you're worth. You know, do you. But Sasha Banks, you know, people turn on her. So I think it's just people are fickle. When you can take the same scenario, apply it to different people, you're still going to get different outcomes. Now, as far as does she deserve the pop she got because of the way she left? I mean, yeah. Like, I've for one, I've spoken to say that Sasha Banks, I didn't really miss her. Doesn't mean I don't want her on my television. It just means that, like, I felt like the women's division is not hinged on just one individual. So if you want to take your ball and go home, the business is going to go on without you. You know what I mean? No hard feelings. Go get what's best for you. You know what I mean? I'm not going to hate it if you come back, but at the same time, I'm not going to protest the company either way. So I think she does. I just, honestly, I was more off-put by just Toronto was just brutal to Natalya, man. Like, Natalya was talking about her late father, and it's a year anniversary, and they're like saying thank you, Sasha, as she beats her down. That was more what stuck out to me, man. I was just like, Toronto's ruthless, bro.
And when you throw in this tidbit too, I don't know, I name names, and you even mentioned Neville. When he left, they wasn't getting these billions of dollars from Saudi Arabia. They wasn't getting this $1 billion deal from Fox. WWE has the money now to help their talent more than they do. So,
No, they do, man.
and when you add in a new competitor that has just as much money as WWE, fuck yeah, use that as leverage. Why wouldn't you?
No, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I hope what this does lead to is health coverage and more benefits for them. It is pretty jacked up that they have to sign on to the company as independent contractors, yet they're not allowed to work anywhere else. It's
Yeah.
one or the other, folks. It is one or the other.
And that's just if you're on the main roster. You see all these guys in NXT going and working in these independents in the UKs and stuff.
Yeah, I've heard that I make
I mean,
more money than some of these guys, and I work for phone retail. You know, some of these new guys in NXT, they're not even getting buco bucks.
And like,
You are selling $1,000 devices, though. Just saying.
These guys are selling pile drivers, okay?
like, and I know, obviously, they are taught a very safe way to take all these bunts. But if you look at guys like Edge and people, I mean,
they
these
can't
guys
they
deserve
can't
so
come
much.
back, man. They gave up their livelihood.
It takes one time to fuck up, and your career could be over. Or you could be dead.
All right, man.
I mean, Rey Mysterio killed a guy by drop kicking him.
All right, hold on, man. Yeah, let's get it going, man. This is getting a little uncomfortable, man. Let's keep the show lighthearted.
I'm still comfortable. Just saying.
I know.
I'm good.
I'm okay.
I know. Let's go on to the next question. Backstreet Bookers, man. Love these guys too. They ask us, plainly simple, man, no sit on the fence. Who's going to win King of the Ring?
Baron Corbin.
I'm going to say Drew McIntyre. Andrade. Nice.
I think there's 5 people that has a huge chance, but
yeah,
off the top of my head, Andrade.
all 3 of those guys have claims to it too.
I had Baron Corbin's entrance music queued up on Spotify, and I was going to play it. But then I was like, wait a second, I'm on headphones, so it's not going to play over the phone speaker. So you guys wouldn't hear it. But it's the thought that counts.
Because, like I said earlier, you can remake or make so many people out of this. There's 8 people I could see winning it if you go down the list.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a good bunch of them. Cthulhu loves you. Love this at big_Malky here. This is a good one. Do you think King of the Ring is just another temporary way to try and grab older viewers with a pointless winner that goes nowhere and is stuck with a shitty gimmick? I'll damn it, the last winner. Or God damn it, Bad News Barrett, Wade Barrett.
I actually like that again.
Or will it be back to the glory days where they are given future opportunities? He's just asking, do you right now have faith in the company to approach it seriously, or is it just another cash grab?
No, I expect an A+ effort out of this.
Okay, what about you, Rob?
I expect an A+ effort as well. But like I was saying earlier, if it doesn't go anywhere, I'm the kind of guy that's not going to notice. So, I mean...
Well, look, the amount of talent's doubled. It's not just 8, it's 16. And they got to make something, like if you just, like I said, there's 8 names that could really use it. And if you just make them all lose and it leads to nothing, that's going to fuck a lot of people over. And like I said, Fox wants sports-like things, and there's no better comparison when you throw out a tournament out there to make it mean something.
Right. Here we go. These are some good questions, actually. I mean, thank you guys tonight, man. King of Ring really sparked some people. Next one is SCW Wrestling Channel, at SCW_Steve. Who is your favorite King of the Ring in WWE history and why? So not who's your favorite, what's your favorite pay-per-view, but who's your favorite winner and why is that your favorite winner?
Stone Cold Steve Austin, because that's the bottom line.
Damn, man, that was mine too. So I'm gonna have to come up with another one.
And I was going Stone Cold too, just because it sparked the Attitude Era.
Yeah,
I was
right.
just gonna say it sparked the Attitude Era, and that's the night that Austin 316 was born.
Yeah,
Like, if that didn't happen, who knows what will happen?
That was supposed to be Triple H's year, but because of the whole thing with the Click, he was punished and they gave it to Stone Cold, and Triple H got it the year following. So
And we might still have WCW.
We might, man. We might. Thank God for those guys breaking kayfabe and hugging each other that night. All right, so we can't all agree. Rob got Stone Cold, so you're gonna have to pick someone else.
We can all agree.
Now,
Man,
nothing wrong with
this
that.
question's hard for me though, where I was so young during most of these.
well, okay, so I'll take the other easy answer dude, it's Booker T. It's King Booker. Like, come on, man. Like that, dude. Who? I mean, it got his wife Queen Charmel TV time. Granted, yeah, Stone Cold became Stone Cold Steve Austin, like the most polarizing guy. Arguably, Stone Cold would have become that guy anyways, though. I don't know if Booker T would never have become King Booker had he not won King of the Ring, man. It's easily Booker T, man. It's easily him.
Easily when you just said Stone Cold 5 minutes
Shut up.
I mean, I wasn't going to say it. I was going to leave it alone. Easily Booker. All right, bro. Good answer. Good answer. I see you clearly behind King Booker.
I was so behind him as my second choice. All right. So from Paige Chi-Town Girl 89, so at Chi-Town Girl 1989, she says she's more of a UFC fan, so she's going to integrate her passion with ours. It says she's curious how we feel about Ronda Rousey signing with WWE, since of course she used to be part of the UFC.
She took. I haven't seen anything like it since Kurt Angle. That's how quick she picked up.
Oh, very correct, man. Very correct.
Like, it's unreal when you really sit there and think about it in this day and age. Like, the deepest talent pool WWE's ever had, top to bottom. I know back in the day you had more top stars, but as far as the whole depth chart, the deepest pool they ever had, and she was able to do what she did. And she mainly at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
First time.
Mm-hmm.
She took, whether you like her or not, she took the women's division on every level. And she's missed.
Valid.
Now.
Absolutely. No,
I'm constantly bringing it up that I was on the outside looking in for years, whatever. I was paying attention. I wasn't watching, but I was paying attention when Ronda Rousey made the jump. I was happy for it. I'm like, she's going to go in there. She's going to whoop some ass. Because they're going to play the UFC card, and it's not going to be these women, these divas flipping each other over the ropes. It's going to be Ronda Rousey going in there punching
Ronda
girls
Rousey's
in the
going to
face.
kill him. Like, she's going to destroy him.
So, I mean, that's as far as it went. I can't really answer more than that because, again, I wasn't watching. But I did pay attention. I did see she got signed, and I thought, wow, that's going to be great.
So,
she's going to go in there whoop some
I
ass.
know something here that'll earn her some more points with Rob, too, is Ronda Rousey. I personally have watched, I've watched WWE most of my life, but second place is UFC. I started watching UFC, I don't know, maybe like 8 to 10 years after WWE, and I've watched them both concurrently ever since. Ronda Rousey is a huge geek. She's a huge WWE nerd. Not only that, she's a Pokemon nerd. Okay.
Yeah, buddy. I didn't even know that. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add her.
That is
like Charizard, bro.
Granted, her antics in UFC with handling the fame and being the top killer on the planet showed an ugly side to her personality. But listen, man, until you have like one of the world's largest spotlights on you 24/7, telling you you're the baddest mofo walking the planet and you've got to be hard
you have to
24/7, you can't
You're not allowed
act
to
like
like Pokemon.
You can't act like for a second you're not going to come across like a dick at times, or you know what I mean, like you're not going to get full of yourself. And granted, Ronda, her downfall in the UFC is part of her own doing. I'll touch on this briefly just because it's not so much WWE. This is MMA territory we're in now. But Ronda, when she joined UFC, she was leagues against the competition. There was nobody close to her level on the planet in her weight division. But the thing about MMA, it is the quickest evolving sport where talent is evolving at a faster rate than any other sport on this planet. And she had everybody telling her that no matter what happens, you're above everybody else, leaps and bounds. The competition caught up to her very quickly. It only took a couple years, and it surpassed her. So she bought her own hype, and then her team around her also bought into her hype and didn't try to get her to evolve with it. And it was good timing, though. You cash in on your popularity, come over to WWE. She helped build so many things, not just WWE. She put women's MMA on the map. The UFC wasn't ever going to add a women's division until they signed Ronda Rousey. She put women's sports. It's not like women's sports never had a spotlight, but she shined a much bigger spotlight on women's sports altogether because of that popularity. And then she came over and elevated WWE. So anybody who's pissed off at Ronda, man, you're misplacing it, bro, because she helped everyone around her. You know what I mean?
It was on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Like,
and she respected
no
it. She
evolution.
respected WWE. She respected it. A lot of celebrities
There's
come
no
in.
evolution without Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, man.
That's why they're not doing it this year. I mean,
yeah. Oh, man.
And here's the thing. It could have been easy for her matches to be 5-minute squash matches, not against Charlotte and all that, because that's just unrealistic. But, she learned how to sell and the psychology. She picked up on everything so quickly. Yeah, her promos wasn't the best at times. I will say, her mic work wasn't the best sometimes. But as far as in the ring, on all aspects, she picked it up amazingly quick. Hello?
No, sorry. I actually muted you guys for a second. I had some background noise I had to take care of. But no, man. Yeah, Ronda Rousey, all around good feels, man. Good feels. And then last question here for the night, and because we're running a long hour and a half. Heather Mania 1 at Team McIntyre. She asks us, just how do we feel about SmackDown women? How do we feel the SmackDown women should be booked? And I feel like this has kind of just been a hot button topic throughout the whole show. And I think it's just they need to be booked better, man. Just wider. Just get a couple more contenders in there. That's all. My take.
It's like I said on Raw last night, or Raw show, man. It's so hard for them right now, I think, because they never had these women's tag titles.
Yeah.
And they're trying to, like, Sonya and Mandy's involved in that, and they're not coming to singles. And if you go back to last year, Mandy Rose had a title match on a pay-per-view.
She did, man. Mandy Rose is somebody else who's underrated, too. I'll give her that, man. Someone who could rely on her looks. I think Mandy Rose has improved in the ring a lot.
And Asuka is over there. So they're trying to balance so many things right now. And when you throw in, are we having a brand split or we're not, when this comes up in October. Like, don't get me wrong, it's their job and they should figure it out, but they're in a tough spot.
Yeah.
Like, I feel for them. Like, I totally understand from their perspective why this has been a struggle trying to juggle so many things with that division.
Yeah. All right, man. I think that's a good spot to close our show. We ran a pretty good hour and a half here. An awesome episode of SmackDown and some really good talking points. I guess you guys let us know. Let us know who you think should win King of the Ring. And is this something that we should do annually, or is it going to be a one-off thing? So let us know that out in the comments. Otherwise, man, I've been Kyle. Y'all have a good one. Motherfuckers, y'all could say bye. All right.
You cut out, man. It went mute. I'm like, delete.
Yeah, I didn't know why.
Peace out, guys. Thanks for listening.
I said that, it was silent, and I was like, not too